Have you ever heard of a time when a nation's fate rested on the shoulders of a prophetess, a hesitant general, and a resourceful homemaker? This is one of those stories, a tale of courage from the ancient world that still echoes today. Let's travel back in time to a land where justice was dispensed not in a courtroom but under the shade of a palm tree. Here we find Deborah, a prophetess, a judge, a leader for the people of Israel. Her wisdom was a beacon of light, but a dark shadow loomed over the land. This shadow had a name, Sisera. He was the commander of the Canaanite army, and his power was absolute, symbolized by a fearsome force of 900 iron chariots. For 20 long years, the Israelites suffered under his oppressive rule. Their cries for deliverance echoed through the hills, a desperate prayer for a hero. And a hero did answer, but perhaps not the one they were expecting. The call to action came through Deborah. She summoned a man named Barak, a military leader, with a message not from her, but from a higher power. The command was clear and daunting. Go, gather your troops on Mount Tabor. Take 10,000 men with you. I will lure Sisera with his chariots and his army into your hands. Imagine hearing that. 10,000 foot soldiers against 900 iron war machines. It sounded like a suicide mission. Barak's heart must have pounded in his chest. He looked at Deborah, the faith in her eyes unwavering, and made a condition. If you go with me, I will go, he said. But if you don't go with me, I won't go. His fear was human, but his reliance on her divine connection was his strength. Deborah agreed. I will go with you, she replied, but she added a prophecy. The honor will not be yours, for the Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. And so they went. The stage was set on the slopes of Mount Tabor. Below in the valley, Sisera's iron chariots glistened under the sun, a seemingly invincible wall of metal and might. Above, 10,000 Israelites stood with Barak, their courage bolstered by the presence of Deborah. Then the moment came. Go, Deborah cried. This is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hands. Barak led the charge, a torrent of men descending the mountain. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous. Chaos erupted in the Canaanite ranks. The mighty chariots, their greatest strength, became their biggest weakness as a sudden downpour turned the valley into a muddy quagmire. They were stuck, useless. Sisera's army was thrown into complete confusion and utterly routed. The invincible commander, stripped of his army and his pride, was now a man on the run. Panicked and alone, Sisera fled the battlefield on foot. He ran for miles, searching for a safe haven. He thought he found it in the most unlikely of places, the tent of a woman named Jael. Her clan was technically neutral in this conflict. Seeing the exhausted commander, Jael greeted him. Come, my lord, come right in, she said. Don't be afraid. She offered him a place to hide, covering him with a blanket and giving him milk to drink when he asked for water. She soothed him, promising to stand guard and turn away any pursuers. Exhausted from the battle and the flight, Sisera, the great and terrible commander, fell into a deep sleep, believing he was safe. But he wasn't. Jael was not just a hospitable woman. She was a woman of quiet, steely resolve. While the most feared man in the region slept in her tent, she saw an opportunity not for herself, but for her people and for the land. She didn't have a sword or a spear. She had what was available to her in her home, in her everyday life. She quietly picked up a tent peg, one of the long, sharp stakes used to secure the tent to the ground, and a hammer. With a steady hand and a heart filled with conviction, she approached the sleeping commander. In one swift, decisive, and shocking act, Jael drove the peg through his temple, ending his life and his reign of terror instantly. When Barak and his men arrived, hot on Sisera's trail, Jael met them at the entrance of her tent. Come, she said, I will show you the man you're looking for. And there he was, not captured in glorious combat by a general, but defeated in a tent by a woman with a hammer and a nail. Deborah's prophecy had come true. The honor had gone to a woman. This incredible act of courage by Jael secured the victory for Israel. A 40-year peace settled over the land, all because a prophetess listened, a general obeyed, and a homemaker took matters into her own hands. It's a powerful reminder that heroes can be found in the most unexpected places, and that courage isn't always about wielding a sword on the battlefield. Sometimes it's about using what you have right where you are. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.